Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You know you're rolling with your boys, Bert and Lanny, the Dividend Diplomats. And guys, another action-packed week of growing your passive income with 7 dividend increases to talk about.
That's right, Lanny. 7 of them right there. We got some big time names in this list too. This is going to be fantastic, everybody. So get ready, get hyped up. And before we talk about these 7 increases, please kindly hit that subscribe button and come to our channel. Give this video a thumbs up. You know what? If you like dividend investing, you better take a second, go down there and give this a thumbs up so we can support our journey to financial freedom, your journey to financial freedom, so we can all retire early. That is what it is about.
All about. And guys, we're talking about that third metric here, dividend growth, because this is about growing your passive income without you doing anything. And guys, we're talking 7 dividend increases here today on the channel from the week of April 18th that increased their dividend. Some increases range from as low as 2.8%, but some as high as 40% increase to your passive income. Bert, what do you think? What's going on this past week?
Yeah, so this was another interesting week in the market. We are in the heart of earnings season, which shouldn't be a surprise why there are so many companies announcing dividend increases. And then on top of it, April is just a stacked month for dividend increases. You have some of the heavyweights in the sector announcing increases. I know I talked about them earlier on our blog in an article, but you run through it, you have a lot of dividend kings, a lot of dividend aristocrats, a lot of oil companies that are all set to grow your income after they announce these results. And that is exactly what happened this week in the market.
So we've got 7 dividend increases to talk about. We're going to jump in. We're going to focus on what stock increased their dividend. What was that growth rate that they did? What's the current dividend yield? And are they supporting a dividend growth streak? Because we want consistent increases to these dividend stocks. Bert, I may have you kick this off because I know you hold this one to your heart.
I don't know if to my heart's not the right way about this one. This one might be. This one's personal, everybody. This first company, Schlumberger, ticker symbol SLE. Wait a second. Stop, everyone. Schlumberger, as I have been corrected by so many of you the last time I talked about this company. Why is this a pain? I bought this one a long time ago. I'm staring a pretty large unrealized loss for this company. I've tried to get out of this position. I've thought about it. Then they just kicked me when I was down during the pandemic, when they just cut the dividend as the price per barrel cut, spending stopped. So they're a services company nationwide. So less oil projects, less future revenue. Their revenues cut. Finally, I worked up the courage this year when oil prices went skyrocketing and you saw a lot of oil companies get revenue, start lining up the projects. Schlumberger started, price jumped up. I started exiting the position. I still have some left. So technically I got a nice dividend increase from this company. What was the increase, Lanny?
All right, guys. So when Schlumberger, they cut their dividend down all the way to 12.5 cents during that global pandemic when oil was shit and the fan over here dumping on the bed, their dividend went down with it. But guys, they just added 5 cents to that forward dividend from 12.5 cents to 17.5 cents. And not 1, not 2, not 3, but they jumped 40% on their dividend. Bert, I'm assuming that your forward income actually still might be the same now.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because I sold some, I still have some left. Their yield is 1.72%. So as I'm waiting to exit out of the rest of this position, at least now I'm getting a yield that's above the market, above some of the high yield savings accounts that I have at 1.72%. I'm still mad about the position. I'm still looking to exit, but this will make the bar for what I'm going to exit the company from a little higher because I'm giving up a little more income on the way out.
There it is, guys. So if you own Schlumberger, ticker symbol SLB, they now have a 1.72% dividend yield, which is slightly above the market. But this is their first dividend increase back since the cut about 2 years ago.
So speaking of past dividend cuts, I think this is a great segue into company number 2 here. KinderMorgan, ticker symbol KMI. This company cut their dividend back in 2016 when they had a bloated balance sheet. Price of oil collapsed. They had to pick between debt and equity. They obviously, you had to pick debt in that situation. So the dividend was cut. They worked to clean up their balance sheet. They paid down the debt. They started several years ago rapidly increasing that dividend. And their balance sheet is so much stronger now that they were still actually able to announce a dividend increase during the pandemic, despite revenue. It was small, but they were still comfortable enough to increase during times. Then they came back in 2022 and said, hold my beer, I'm going to announce another increase here. Lanny, what was KinderMorgan's dividend increase?
All right, guys, this wasn't as strong as what it has been, in recent years, but they did pay down $1.6 billion of long-term debt in just this quarter alone. So they're still really pushing down that debt. But Bert asked about what that increase was, and I'm here to tell you that it was only 2.8% for KinderMorgan, going from 27 cents to 27.75 cents per share per quarter. The yield's still over 5.6% for KinderMorgan, and that is now their 5th year of growing their dividend in a row now.
Fantastic. Again, I like that this company sometimes announces smaller dividend increases because their past was to aggressively announce the increase. If management's going to just say we're going to be a little more prudent this year, still announce an increase that's smaller, that is okay for me based on KinderMorgan's past. Should we move into that third one, Lanny?
Let's jump into dividend stock number 3, and this goes into the industrial manufacturing space. Really we're looking at the packaging and all this other stuff. Real huge producer for packaging. Ticker symbol is SON. Sonoco Products, I believe is how you pronounce it. But they had a huge banger of an increase, going from 45 cents per share to 49 cents, about a 9% increase. And guys, they yield a solid 3% and going on 20 years of growing their dividend.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's not an interesting sector, but it's important. Packaging's all that stuff you were talking about. It's got to go into something, right? But I think that's a key point to highlight here. A 3% yield for a company that's on the verge of becoming a dividend aristocrat. They're getting close. They should be within the decade. That's huge. So it might be an interesting one to take a deeper look at in a different video and a different time to see if they're an undervalued stock to buy with a 3% yield.
There it is, guys. Exactly. Ticker symbol is SON. Again, Sonoco Products. Definitely keep an eye on them. And, we may have to run them through a dividend stock screener at some point in one of our upcoming videos, just based on the yield, the track record of their dividend history, and this increase being 9%. That's fairly freaking solid right now.
Yep. Dividend stock number 4 here. Let's move. We all know this one. That company's NASDAQ. Ticker symbol NDAQ. It's kind of fun that we're looking at one of the indices here for this one. They announced a very solid increase. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say this one's a banger of a dividend increase. How about that right there? They don't increase that quarterly dividend from 54 cents to 60 cents, an 11% dividend increase. Their yield is now in line with the market, which is actually kind of funny considering NASDAQ has a dividend yield in line with the broader market. It's at 1.33%. And they're almost at a double-digit dividend increase streak here of 9+ years of increasing that divvy.
There, yeah. NASDAQ, great dividend growth stock here. Their 5-year average is over double digits. So again, outpacing the rate of inflation, because we all know inflation is eating the power of your dollar as you are watching this video, as Bert is biting the heck out of crime. Now, guys, so again, NASDAQ, ticker symbol NDAQ, 11% increase. Now we're going to slide in to that 5th dividend stock. And this is the dividend stock that people do talk about. They own quite a bit, I believe, in their dividend portfolio. And really, it's because of that dividend growth streak that is out there, plus an above average dividend yield. We're talking about Southern Company, ticker symbol SO. And they went from 66 cents to 68 cents, a 3% dividend increase on top of that 3.58% yield, growing that dividend for over 20 years.
Dividend investors love this stock. It is, when they announced that increase, it was all over the dividend growth investing community on Twitter. comments everywhere for this. People love this company. They love the utility. I mean, it's 3.58% yield, decent increase for the sector. I mean, again, another company that's on the verge of becoming a dividend aristocrat and is going to be during this decade. That's, how do you not love a company like this when you're evaluating stocks to buy?
I love you, Cleveland. So guys, that was Southern Co. again, SO with a 3% increase. It's time to enter the ring at dividend stock number 6, 4, 3, 2,
1. Travelers.
Travelers.
Oh, sorry. I think I jumped the gun there. I ran out and sprinted ahead of the entrance music. Travelers companies, ticker symbol TRV. Back to the insurance sector, they increased that quarterly dividend from 88 cents to 93 cents, a 5.7% increase. Their yield is now above 2% with that increase at 2.01%. And they are also on the journey to WrestleMania and becoming that dividend aristocrat. It's going to take a little longer, though, because they've increased that dividend for 16 consecutive years.
A decent increase for this massive insurance company. Obviously, cash flow is king right now for them. And, they had some really strong years during the pandemic with less claims happening. But, 2% yield, 6% dividend growth, not too shabby. Again, Bert, Travelers, TRV. I need you to bring this one home, though, Bert. I need the people. Just give this video a thumbs up as we get to lucky number 7, the 7th dividend stock. Give it up for Bert the Hurt, because he is going to make this announcement. What was that 7th massive dividend increase that juiced your portfolio in a big way, Bert?
This company, come on, everyone. You know how hyped up I was when this dividend increase was announced. Why? Because we are buying one share of this company every single week. We started this strategy last year. My wife has amassed over 70 shares of this company. I'm right behind her in the high 60s. You bet that I was pumped up to see what Johnson & Johnson was doing this past week, ticker symbol JNJ, because that, you were right, lady. That's going to have a huge impact on my forward dividend income. And Johnson & Johnson delivered the consistent results that they always seem to announce. They increased that quarterly dividend from $1.06 to $1.13, a consistent 6.6% dividend increase. Boom.
Good old reliable. They don't really call that stock for nothing. Good old reliable, because that's exactly what you said and exactly what they are. 6.6%, pretty much right in line with their dividend growth on average. You know what you're getting with J&J. Combining that with that 2.54% yield, you've got yourself a nice 9% plus dividend factor owning Johnson & Johnson stock. So it's no wonder they are a top 5 foundation stock for your dividend portfolio. Now, Bert, how many years have they been pumping this dividend out?
59 consecutive years. They're a dividend king, and that's the best way to end this video in terms of dividend increase, ending with the best, with the most reliable, with the consistent king of Johnson & Johnson, baby.
So now to summarize the 7 dividend stocks in shotgun style, we have 1, Schlumberger at 40%, 2, KinderMorgan at 2.8%, Sonoco Products, ticker symbol SON at 8.9%. 4th, NASDAQ, ticker symbol NDAQ at 11%. Then we have 5th, Southern Co, ticker symbol SO, 3%. 6th, Travelers Company, TRV is the ticker there, 5.7%. Last, but definitely not least, the one that you hold definitely number 1 possibly in your hearts for dividend investors, the dividend king, the dividend aristocrat, Johnson & Johnson, J&J, 6.6%.
So everybody, again, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up and let us know in that comment section below how many of these companies did you receive dividend increases from. Me, Schlumberger, KinderMorgan, and Johnson & Johnson. That's 3 of 7. Very nice for baseball season. Lanny, what about you?
I had Travelers, J&J, and KinderMorgan. I also had 3 out of 7. So how many did you guys have in your portfolio? Again, guys, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That was Bert, the Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.